Police arrests gone tragically wrong. Case 1. Loren Michael Court's tragedy struck once again in the line of duty as a chilling 911 call led officers to a shooting scene that would unravel into an unthinkable nightmare. The ominous junction of Joy Road and Marlowe Street in Detroit became a haunting backdrop on the fateful evening of July 6, 2022. It was 7:30 p.m. when shots pierced the air, summoning Officer Loren Courts and his partner, Amanda Hudgens, to the scene. Arriving with a sense of duty and commitment, the officers had no inkling of the horrifying ordeal awaiting them. Before they could even step out of their patrol car, the assailants' barrage of bullets found their mark. The trajectory of tragedy shifted as Officer Courts was struck in the neck. In a split-second decision, Courts reacted, reversing the patrol car in a desperate bid to dodge the relentless gunfire. The source of the assault, 19-year-old Ehmani Davis, positioned himself upstairs in his apartment, overlooking the former Desire unisex salon. Seeking refuge behind their car, the officers found respite from the storm of bullets raining down on them. It was a critical moment of survival as Officer Hudgens initiated life-saving measures, applying pressure to Court's grievous wound. But the danger was far from over. Davis, unrelenting, descended the stairs, his intentions clear. Officer Hudgens, unaware of the impending threat, stood with her back exposed, vulnerable to Davis's wicked intent. In a stunning twist of fate, backup officers arrived just in the nick of time, a new chapter of bravery unfolding. Swift and unwavering, they aimed at the assailant, firing the shot that would turn the tide. The fate of the officers hung in the balance, teetering between tragedy and rescue. Officer Courts was transported to Sinai Grace Hospital, but the battle was lost, and the city mourned the loss of a dedicated officer who had served the Detroit Police Department for 5 years. Aged only 40, he leaves behind a shattered family, a wife, a son, a daughter, and grieving parents. A legacy intertwined with law enforcement, his father's recent retirement from the Detroit Police Department added a moving layer of poignancy to the narrative. Davis, a known figure in the criminal underworld, bore the weight of 7 encounters with the police dating back to 2019. His criminal record consisted of disturbance of the peace, credit card theft, and illegal possession of a taser.
According to a police report, Davis's mother had called 911 saying her son was irate and she wanted him to leave.
I am willing to pack up his stuff as long as he leaves out of here. I do not want him in the house in his state of mind.
Records show that as far back as 2019, his mother called police when Ehmani, then 16, was fuming, yelling and banging on the door, saying he wanted to move into foster care.
His mother had sounded the alarm, expressing concerns about his mental well-being and the lack of accessible mental health avenues. She even resorted to desperate measures, dropping him off at the 6th Precinct in Detroit, a plea for help. Unraveling his background exposed a grim truth. Davis had illegally purchased the firearm with assistance from a friend as he could not obtain one with his criminal record. A friend, Sheldon Thomas, facilitated this dangerous transaction, resulting in Davis's possession of the weapon that would forever alter the course of Officer Court's life. A sliver of justice was served as Thomas faced a 2-year prison sentence for his role in enabling the tragedy. The sentencing brought a semblance of closure, albeit small, to the grieving community, Officer Court's family, and his comrades who continue to bear the weight of his absence. In the wake of a life cut short, the tale serves as a chilling reminder of the sacrifices made by those who stand on the thin blue line. Case 2. Richard Lopez. A shocking turn of events jolted the peaceful surroundings of Arizona, near Stagecoach Trail and Red Rock Lane in Cordes Lake, as a routine robbery escalated into a heart-wrenching tragedy that left the community in disbelief. The echoes of June 28, 2022, still reverberate with the chilling memory of that ill-fated day when Sergeant Richard Lopez responded to the call of duty. Reports of theft had prompted Sergeant Lopez to spring into action, tracking down the suspect in close proximity to the crime scene. Without haste, Lopez approached the suspect, intent on bringing him to justice. However, the situation spiraled into a nightmare when 61-year-old Robert McDowell took a fatal shot at Lopez and made a swift getaway.
Newly released court documents detail neighbors witnessing 61-year-old Robert McDowell chasing Sergeant Lopez in a Cordes Lakes neighborhood. Neighbors calling 911, hearing a gunshot, and witnessing Sergeant Lopez lying unresponsive on the ground.
McDowell made his way to a nearby residence where he entered a house and barricaded himself inside it. He remained there for several hours in an attempt to evade law enforcement authorities. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office joined forces with the Arizona Department of Public Safety, Their combined resolve resulted in the successful capture of the suspect from the residence.
Back on November 2021, court paperwork says that during an encounter with the suspect, he told deputies, quote, "If you come in here, you're going to have to shoot it out with me." On Tuesday, after an hours-long standoff with law enforcement following the shooting, McDowell was taken into custody.
Once the apprehension was made, the wheels of justice began to turn. Facing first-degree murder charges, McDowell met a grim fate, with the possibility of the death penalty looming overhead. In the midst of this tragedy, the community rallied to the aid of their fallen hero. Concerned onlookers who spotted Lopez was in distress rang 911, alerting emergency services to the gravely injured officer. Deputies rushed to the scene, finding Sergeant Lopez unresponsive, a fighter battling for his life. He was subsequently airlifted to Honor Health Deer Valley Medical Center. Lopez's journey was a race against time, but fate had its own plans. The wounds proved insurmountable, and the courageous sergeant succumbed to his injuries that very day. Left behind were not just the memories of his unwavering dedication, but also his beloved wife and 2 daughters, a family forever changed. Lopez's legacy stretched back 14 years within the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, a tenure defined by steadfast commitment. His path to law enforcement was paved by a unique journey, one that saw him manage a Safeway store before embracing his true calling. When he suggested the career move to his wife, it had come as no surprise. A remarkable aspect of Sergeant Lopez was his innate kindness, a trait that went beyond his uniform. He was known for stopping on the road to offer aid to those caught in car accidents. In another memorable act, Lopez surprised a broken bus full of children with popsicles from his store. His heartwarming gestures resonated with those he encountered. Even in death, the impact of Sergeant Lopez on the community was undeniable. The outpouring of support and acts of tribute serve as a testament to the enduring legacy of a man who dedicated his life to the service of others. Case 3. Ralph Frasure, Jacob Chaffins, and William Petry. The serene neighborhood near Railroad Avenue in Allen, Kentucky, was shattered by a chilling triple tragedy that unfolded on June 30th, 2022. Captain Ralph Frasure, Deputy Sheriff William Petry, and police officer Jacob Chaffins responded to what should have been a routine house visit at the residence of Lance Storrs, a man with a disturbing history of warrants and a protective order for assaulting a family member. The officer's mission was clear: serve Storrs with warrants for an emergency protection order stemming from allegations by his wife. Storrs was reported by his wife, who accused him of having his way with her, threatening her and keeping her and a child captive when he discovered that she received approval for an apartment. This attempt to leave her husband seemingly enraged him.
Remember, officers were working to serve Storrs a domestic violence-related arrest warrant when the shooting happened. Floyd County Sheriff now saying Storrs opened the door like he was waiting for police.
Every time they pull a car over to ticket it, or every time they go to serve a paper or make an arrest, or sometimes just to talk to somebody, they put themselves in a position where things can go really wrong.
As they approached Storrs' home, the officers were met with an unexpected hail of gunfire, shattering any semblance of routine. The assailant, it seemed, had been waiting for their arrival, poised to unleash a torrent of bullets from pre-positioned weapons around his residence. The barrage was so intense that hours elapsed before officers could determine the origin of the relentless onslaught. The attack was so fierce that amid the chaos, one deputy sought refuge under a vehicle, his survival hanging in the balance. The vehicle, riddled with bullet holes, bore witness to his close call. Even the K9 dog in the back seat suffered the cruel fate of the assailant's fury. Finally, at around 10 p.m., the assailant was detained and taken into custody, and the harrowing ordeal came to an end. However, the aftermath was a scene of unparalleled devastation. Kentucky was left grappling with the loss of 3 officers. 5 individuals suffered non-life-threatening injuries, 4 of which were officers, and the K9 hero, Draco, who was struck down. Captain Ralph Frasure and Deputy Sheriff William Petry lost their lives at the scene, while Officer Jacob Chaffins powerfully held on until succumbing to his wounds the following day.
There were several other people injured, 4 police officers, 3 of whom are still in the hospital, 1 in critical condition. There was also a civilian hurt who is in the hospital. An arrest citation says deputies showed up to the home of 49-year-old Lance Stores on Railroad Street in Allen to serve an emergency order of protection after a domestic violence incident.
The impact of this tragedy rippled through the community, each officer leaving behind a legacy that would forever be etched in the hearts of their loved ones. Captain Ralph Frasure, a devoted 39-year veteran of the Prestonsburg Police Department, left behind a grieving family consisting of his wife, mother, children, and grandchildren. Deputy Sheriff William Petry, with an extensive 31-year service history, served with the Floyd County Sheriff's Office, Prestonsburg Police Department, and Kentucky State Police. His absence is mourned by his wife, children, grandchildren, and sister. Officer Jacob Chaffins, a young and promising soul at 28, had dedicated 3 years to the Prestonsburg Police Department, alongside his service as a Kentucky National Guard veteran. His memory lives on through his wife, daughter, mother, siblings, and a tight-knit community that will forever cherish his sacrifice.
It still feels like it happened today.
The ambush that led to the death of Ralph Frasure, Jacob Chaffins, William Petry, and the canine officer Draco has affected so many in Floyd County, Kentucky, including family members, such as Savannah and Seth Ousley, Jacob Chaffins' brother and sister.
49-year-old Stores was held in Pike County Detention Center for a $10 million cash bond. A not guilty plea was issued on his account when he appeared remotely in court. Lance Stores, the assailant responsible for this tragedy, faced a series of charges including the murder of a police officer and attempted murder, along with assaulting a service animal. However, justice took an unexpected turn when Stortz took his own life on February 28, 2023, in a shower stall within the Pike County Detention Center.
Captain Ralph Frasure of the Prestonsburg Police Department and Deputy Will Petry of the Floyd County Sheriff's Office were killed in the shooting in the city of Allen. Drago, a K-9 with the Floyd County Sheriff's Office, was also shot and killed. Communities across the state came together to honor their lives.
The heart-wrenching tale of a routine house call turned catastrophic serves as a poignant reminder of the selfless dedication and unwavering bravery displayed by law enforcement officers who put their lives on the line to protect their communities. If you enjoyed this video, then please show your support for this channel by liking, subscribing, or leaving a comment with your thoughts on this video or what sort of content you'd like to see covered.